momentarily. Have you seen this one?
Yeah. Pressure zone is.
Yeah.
My sergeant was giving me hell yesterday at rehearsals. Like, just slow down. He's like, we need to make natural pauses.
Natural pause. Give it some effect.
I gotta go talk to a student after this. Coach Jeffries. I don't know if you know Coach Jeffries.
Yes.
I think he coaches at Tipton.
Yes.
His students somewhere.
Billy Jeffries.
For coming to Lincoln next year.
So that's Gary Hill's brother. Did you know that?
Who?
Chief Gary
Yeah,
Hill.
yeah, but actually, I ran into Chief Hill up on the hill yesterday, and he told me about it. He told me Coach was asking. Yeah. So who's married to who? Is it?
Gary's married to Billy's sister.
Okay. Yeah. Small world, isn't it?
It is. Billy's got two boys, I believe, at Westminster. I know one's there.
Okay. I was at Westminster yesterday. Or across town. Yeah. All right, so the guest speaker, Colonel Slider, was one of my students when I was here in '99 up to 03 as an instructor. Yeah. Charles.
How are you, sir? John Mobley. Very nice to meet you. Hey, buddy. How are you? Good. Did you walk over? Your hands are freezing. No. It's been walking outside. Okay. What's the seating line up here? Okay. Just give like 2 there. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the program will begin in 2 minutes. We will now begin the Lincoln University Army ROTC Fall Commissioning Ceremony. Competent leaders of character are necessary for the Army to meet the challenges and the dangerous and complex security environment we face. It is critical that the Army leaders be agile, multi-skilled, have strong moral character, broad knowledge, and keen intellect. They must display these attributes and leader competencies bound by the concept of the warrior ethos. Leaders must be committed to a lifelong learning to remain relevant and ready during a career of service to the nation. Army leaders must set the example as well as teach and mentor. The cadet before you today has demonstrated these qualities and has met these requirements to serve as an officer in the United States Army. Will everyone please stand for the playing of the national anthem? Ladies and gentlemen, Lincoln University's Professor of Military Science, Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas P. Bell.
All right, so good morning, everybody. It's wonderful to see all of Cadet Kelley's family here. Please call her Cadet for a few more moments. And all of her fellow cadets. And this is kind of the coup de grace, right? This is what it's all about this morning, this small ceremony. And our guest speaker today, I'm not going to go through his whole bio. You guys have it in the program. But I will say a few things for those of you reading his bio and like, I don't know what does this all mean? You know, these positions held in the Army, don't understand it. Well, basically, simply stated, he is the leader that the Army needed in 2002, right after 9/11, graduating from this Blue Tiger program in Lincoln University. He's the leader they needed in the decades that followed it, and he's the type of leader they need in the future. And the positions he held or has and will hold are a testament to his selfless service, to his putting others first, leading from the front, and living what the Army definition of leadership is all about, which is providing purpose, direction, and motivation, operating accomplish the mission, and improving the organization. And you don't have the type of success that Lieutenant Colonel Slider had without having that ethos in you every single day. And it's not easy, and he embodies that. So without any further ado, Lieutenant Colonel Slider, the floor is yours.
Hey, Lieutenant Colonel Bell, thanks for the kind words. Lincoln University, faculty, friends, families, and Lincoln ROTC cadets, welcome and thank you for attending the Lincoln University ROTC commissioning ceremony. It's an honor and privilege to come back to the place where I started my Army journey and give back to the environment that put effort in guiding me as a young cadet and student. To Christuanna Kelley, thank you for taking the huge step of being one of the few members within our United States to take on the challenge of leading America's most precious resource, the American soldier. I can recall my commissioning ceremony in May of 2002, remembering the excitement, but an unsure environment. 9/11 changed the trajectory of many cadets' careers and sought to sap the morale of the American people. Many of us were sent in Afghanistan and Iraq in the coming months to fight a counterinsurgency fight which lasted for most of our careers. Although the environment is different today, I would argue that the challenges based on the environment in front of you is a bit more complex. We face threats from two peer-to-peer threats in China and Russia that oppose the free world and threaten the very way of life. All the lessons learned from your cadre over the past 4 years will be further enforced in the coming months once you attend your basic officer leadership course. A little bit about Christuanna Kelley. She's a native from Memphis, Tennessee. She majored in business administration and was a cheerleader during her time at Lincoln. Probably one of the most humbling achievements is she is the first female combat arms officer to commission from this program. I think that in itself deserves a round of applause. She will commission into the Field Artillery Branch and be received with welcome arms from the Army and the Fort Sill team. Welcome to the Army. We are all extremely proud of this monumental achievement. By the way, I'm sending a note to Major General Kemper, letting him know of your arrival, so don't let us down. No pressure. There are two things I would like to leave you with. First, listen to your NCOs and follow their lead. Over the past 20 years, I've had the pleasure of working with multiple nations that have observed our NCO Corps in action in both garrison and combat situations. Your non-commissioned officer corps is the world's greatest NCO Corps easily. They are skilled in establishing and maintaining standards, ensuring their officer counterparts are taken care of and properly prepared, and enforcing the NCO creed. Without the fine NCOs I've had the pleasure of working with over the past 20 years, I would not be standing here in front of you. Second, lean on your peers and be confident and humble. The education from the Lincoln University faculty and staff has prepared you for your next step. I assure you that your credentials, when matched with your peers, is on par and reflective of the latest education innovations. No one climbs by themselves. Ask questions, rely on your peers, trust your superiors. People first is more than a slogan. It is a way of life and entails depending on each other as a team to solve problems and work as a cohesive unit. You will meet challenges and meet some failures, and that's okay. It is how you recover and continue as a test of your resolve as an Army officer. I leave you with this sage advice. Remember your oaths against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Those words have meaning, and the American people, and most notably the world, looks to you as a sign of hope and an example of what right looks like. Again, congratulations on this huge achievement, and we are very proud of your accomplishments. Blue Tigers, Army Strong, thank you.
To formalize our ties to the nation and affirm subordination to its laws, members of the Army, soldiers, Army civilians swear a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Soldiers simultaneously acknowledge the authority of the President as Commander-in-Chief and officers as his agents. The purpose of this oath is to affirm military subordination to civilian authority. Serving as a commissioned officer differs from the other forms of Army leadership by the quality and extensiveness of expert knowledge required in the measure of responsibility attached and in the magnitude of the consequences of inaction or ineffectiveness. An enlisted leader swears an oath of obedience to lawful orders, while a commissioned officer promises to well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office. This distinction establishes a different expectation for discretionary initiatives. Officers should be driven to maintain the momentum of operations, possess courage to deviate from standing orders within the commander's intent when required, and will be willing to accept the responsibility and accountability for doing so. While officers depend on the counsel, technical skills, maturity, and experience of subordinates to translate their orders into action, the ultimate responsibility for mission success or failure resides with the commissioned officer in charge. Today, Cadet Christuanna Kelley accepts this responsibility by receiving a commission and will be appointed as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the oath of office, which will be administered by Lieutenant Colonel Charles V. Slider III. Please be seated. As in tradition in the United States Army, Cadet Christuanna Kelley will have the rank of second lieutenant placed on her by her family. Also, she will receive her first salute, which comes from a non-commissioned officer, recognizing the acknowledgement of the new lieutenant to the officer corps. Along with the respect and courtesy that accompanies this new rank, it is tradition that the newly commissioned officers gives a silver dollar to the first NCO that salutes them. symbolizing acknowledgement of the NCO's key role in their development. Pinning on Second Lieutenant Kelley's rank are her parents, Mr. Christopher Young and Verlicia Kelley. Second Lieutenant Kelley will serve as a field artillery officer in the active Army. As well, she is graduating with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration. Second Lieutenant Kelley will now receive her first salute from Sergeant First Class Christopher Garcia. Now, Dr. John B. Mosley, President of Lincoln University, assisted by Lieutenant Colonel Bell, will present the commissioning certificate to Second Lieutenant Kelley. At this time, Lieutenant Colonel Bell will provide the closing remarks.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Like I said, kind of short and sweet, but does not say anything about the accomplishments that now Second Lieutenant Kelley did throughout her time at Lincoln and through ROTC. It's not an easy path to take, and she chose to take it, and going into profession of arms is honorable and distinctive. So Colonel Slider, at this time I would normally present you a gift. However, what I'm going to say is you could stick around. The other cadets come on. Second Lieutenant Kelley, come on, stay on stage. We'll do a group photo, and I'll present that to you during the reception down in Soldiers Hall afterwards. So, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song. The lyrics can be referred on the back page of the program.
March along, sing our song, with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First in fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the army goes rolling along. And it's high, high day, the army's on its way. Down off the gates, loud and strong. So wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
This concludes today's ceremony. Please join us in Soldiers Hall for the ceremonial cake cutting ceremony. Thank you for attending.